Ladies and gents, it's part two. Let it commence with Astrobot on the PS5. Oh man, this game. My son has already played it to completion. Um, well, he hasn't collected all the robots and all the other bots yet, but he beat this game. It took him about 12 hours. While I was watching him play, and all the fan service to the old Sony franchises was really cool. It's a beautiful game, a really nice platformer, very kid friendly. I think my son is going to try to 100% it later. He's been playing Harry Potter, though, Lego Harry Potter, quite a bit. So this has fallen off a little bit because he's playing Hogwarts also. But, anyways, I'm probably going to play through this one at some point because it's such a nicely done game. It's like Nintendo made a game for Sony. Like they took a page out of the formula of the classic platformers of like Mario and they put it all in this little Astrobot mascot, and it's phenomenal. It really is cool. I'm excited to eventually get into it. This really deserves all the praise it's been getting, and it's not a game I usually get into, but I made an exception. I heard it was so amazing, and it really is. Astrobot. All right, let's continue with one of my favorite Metroidvanias of recent memory, The Last Faith. Remember when I was talking about After Image being like the kind of cuddly, cute, hand drawn one? This one is a dark gothic, Bloodborne ish take on a Metroidvania, and it's phenomenal. Cryptic missions, creepy enemies, bloody kills, solid upgrades on your weapons, fantastic lore that you can kind of sort of follow. This was also a long game. I did everything in the game, beat all the optional bosses. I enjoyed it a lot, and it took me about maybe 30 to 40 hours, I think. A long, long Metroidvania. Not as long as After Image, but still very long. And I highly recommend you guys check it out if you like the horror aspect mixed with your Metroidvania. It comes in a deluxe edition and the regular. I got the regular because I didn't know if I was going to like it enough to get the deluxe. I kind of wish I would have gotten the deluxe now, but whatever. It's really neat. It's on the Switch also. I think it has some performance issues on the Switch. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But I couldn't resist. I had to get this game and I really loved it. I actually pre-ordered it a long time ago from Best Buy as soon as the pre-orders opened up months and months ago. But yeah, this is a really cool game. I highly recommend The Last Faith. Moving on to more spooky stuff. The Chant. So, what is The Chant? What is this game that I've never heard of, Tarasco? Or maybe I have. You're a hippie chick and you go on a holistic retreat into some kind of getaway camp because you had to deal with some past trauma. And all of a sudden, shit goes sideways because evil spirits invade, they possess people, your past comes back to haunt you. You fight them by burning sage and swiping at them. You complete some puzzles. Graphics are nice. Soundtrack is kind of neat. It's a short game. I beat this one too. It's about 8 hours, and it's not super scary, thank goodness. Cool item management, cool puzzles to solve. I saw this one and it just gave me a vibe of this was going to be a rare game in time. And it's such a quirky and interesting. I don't think it's ever been done before. It gave me Midsommar vibes. If you guys have ever seen that movie about that cult, very creepy. I don't think a horror game has ever been done like that, like in a cult setting. And I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was really nicely done, and it's a kind of a budget game from an indie developer and they did a great little job here on this game. I recommend it if you like horror, a little bit of lighter horror that's not super terrifying. I recommend the Chant. It's a little janky in its combat because there's a dodge move that I swear you could dodge almost anything in this game by doing this like ridiculous dodge move because it gives you some crazy iframes. But anyways, it helps because some item management later can get a little tedious. But yeah, the Chant is a really good game. I have a feeling like it's going to be hard to find later. I don't know why. I just feel like it is. I used to see it at GameStop everywhere, and then it disappeared. So I had to pick it up. I had to go on good old eBay for this one. Bought it brand new. The Chant. Next up is the first of two rap games that I haven't even gotten into yet. Karate Kid Street Rumble. This is a 16-bit beat 'em up. I believe my brother has already played this. I actually saw him stream it and it looked really cool. I'm a huge fan of the Karate Kid. TV show and the movies. I watched them when I was a kid. I'm not a bandwagon guy. I've been watching it since the 80s and then the early 90s. But it's a cool beat 'em up. Actually, we'll get into this one pretty quick soon because I'm almost done beating another game that you will see later on. And yeah, I like my beat 'em ups. And this one was super cheap. It was on a Black Friday sale through Amazon, so it just made its way into the cart. And here it is, the Karate Kid Street Rumble. So now I have the original game on the NES. I have the Cobra Kai game on the PS4, and I have this. I'm only missing Cobra Kai 2, but I heard that game was absolute hot trash, so I probably will keep my Karate Kid collection incomplete. Next up is the stinker, Prince of Persia and the Lost Crown. All right. And yeah, it's in the PS5 now because I'm giving it a lot of chances. I've been playing this one for about a 10 to 12 hours. It's a Metroidvania in the Prince of Persia universe, I guess. And I don't like it. I just don't. It looks, it's kind of ugly. Like, I don't know why the game gets so much praise. I think the game looks like a kind of like an indie PS3 game. I I mean, I have an unfair bias because my original launch PS5 controller caught stick drift during this. And this is a Metroidvania with a lot of platforming, and stick drift is just like a death knell to it. But then I popped in this controller, and it no stick drift, so I gave it a fair chance. You see, I even changed controllers, and I still don't like it. I think the lore kind of sucks. The story, the characters are not super likable. Ubisoft made this, and Ubisoft pisses me off because sure as crap, I'm hanging out at home and I get an email saying from Ubisoft saying, "Hey, Prince Gasson is still waiting for you to rescue him." Look, Prince Gasson can go take a bus back home because I don't really care for this. There's too many games to play, and I played superior Metroidvanias like The Last Faith and After Image. For this one to have such highly lauded esteem and everyone to talk about it, I didn't enjoy it. I really didn't. And I gave it more than a fair shake. As a side story to this, real quick, I picked this up brand new with my cousin DJ, and it was funny because it's very cheap. I was like, oh, why not? I'll get on it. I heard it's a really good Metroidvania. That's kind of my thing. And yeah, this, along with this and Sword and Fairy, they're the two new games I bought at that GameStop with my cousin. This they put them, they get the disc, they put them in the case. They take them out of their moldy drawer. They slip them in a like plastic sleeve and they tape the back. And that's how it's new. It's new. And it had so many sale stickers on top because when it was new, just packed on top that I kid you not, it was as thick as like maybe 3/4 sticking out. The good thing was that those stickers were on the actually no, they were right on the case. Yeah, it was awful. That was horrible. I'm glad I have the game to finally get the curiosity out of the way, but I was so disappointed. The combat kind of blows. You feel like you're swiping around your sword. It's made out of paper mache. It doesn't The enemies don't really have any good feedback to when you connect. The platforming is good, but it's kind of iffy. The graphics are boring and kind of ugly. The music is whatever. The map system kind of sucks. The like instant travel teleporting through the map kind of blows. The bosses, I feel like it's a war of attrition. You're just downing recovery items, and I don't enjoy it much about the game. And the powers are odd. It isn't just like a dash and a thing. It's like there is a dash. There probably is a double jump later, but and there's weird side quests. I don't know. I just try it out for yourself. It goes super cheap now. There's really no excuse to not try it. Unless my mini review here kind of scared you away, then I'm doing you a solid. I mean, some people really like this game. I, for one, am not one of them, though. Stinker of the pickups. And they got a fair shake, too, about 12 to 15 hours played, and I do not enjoy it. All right, next is really, really cool. This is Awaken Astral Blade, the PS5. Look, a black banner. This is a PAL copy because it only came out in PAL territories. Um, this is an indie Metroidvania starring Tanya. Tanya's Edition. You see inside, I think there's an art book and some stickers. I got this through Play Asia. I haven't had a chance to play this yet, but I will soon. And this looked like a really cool Metroidvania. I saw some footage. It looks like a more futuristic Metroidvania with really, really nice hand drawn. monstrous graphics. The combat looks slick. I heard the translation was kind of all over the place, and it's not the smoothest game, and it's not the best effort from this new studio. But I mean, they're a new studio. They're trying out things, and but yeah, this looks like a nice palate cleanse after Prince of Persia. I'm kind of excited, and I thought this edition was like beautiful. I really love this black spine on the PS5. It looks so interesting. But that's not just why I bought it. I like the character design, the art style. If you look it up, it looks like a really cool game. I'll give you my thoughts later, probably. But yeah, Awaken, Astral Blade, not to be confused with Stellar Blade. Yeah, there we go. And three more games, guys, and these are all birthday presents. It was your boy's birthday recently. Let's start off with The Simpsons: Bart versus the World. So, my wife and my kids got me all these, this game and the next two, which are my birthday presents. This game, it's like, this is weird. I played this as a kid when I was a wee lad of maybe 6 years old and younger. This game, I remember being stuck in a stage. There was a pirate ship, and that's mainly what I remember. And then you find Maggie. You're Bart, and you find Maggie. It's a platformer with some with some mini game elements like a matching game, trivia, Simpsons trivia, which I use my wife for that because I don't know anything about the Simpsons. I'm not a Simpsons fan. I know, blasphemy. But yeah, I played this as a kid, and I remember that pirate ship and never passing the pirate ship because you find Maggie, and then a little boat comes up to her, and if you jump on it, you sink and you just die. I beat that level. I beat it within half an hour of starting to play. I beat the first boss. I made some headway, and it was really cool to like, you know, a game from my youth that I only touched like once or twice, but it stuck in my mind for some reason, and I went back to it. This is a relatively easy game to find. The label looks like this because the newer games around the end of the NES life cycle used a really strong and different adhesive where it starts bleeding through the label and it starts muting all the colors and kind of stressing out the label. And usually, copies of this game in this good a condition are really hard to find. The labels are usually torn up, have holes in them, or it's bled through, and it's just disgusting. But yeah, really cool little platforming game. The Simpsons games are notorious for being not that great, especially on the NES. And but this one had a lot of nostalgia for me, and I just had to pick it up, or I just had to get it gifted to me. Next up is one that I've been waiting for a long time. It's Super Mario Sunshine, a player's choice, super minty. Um, this game was on my very short list of GameCube games that I really want, and I I just had to have this. I remember the GameCube made a big impression on me. I remember when I was a kid because growing up I had the PS2. My brother got a GameCube, and this game, along with Star Fox Adventures and some other ones like and later on his Wii really impressed me. And I was always kind of like, oh man, I wish I could play that. I wish I could check it out maybe one day. And here we are, Super Mario Sunshine. This is I know some people don't really enjoy this one because it takes away some classic Mario elements of his platforming and replaces it with like this hydro water pump that he uses to jet around stages or clean muck. And I thought that was such a cool mechanic. And I loved the island setting of Super Mario Sunshine. It was so tropical and so relaxing. And it looked so cool to clean up the island, because there's just toxic goo sprays everywhere, and Mario goes in there and just starts like spraying it all down and cleaning it. And with that collectathon element, I think there's some of that in there. I played it briefly. I beat the first boss, I think, um, and I really like this game. I'm really happy that I have it, and I plan on going back to this one because I really do want to see where it goes. But very, very cool pickup. It's been on my list for a long time now, and I'm glad I have it. And the last game is what I've been playing religiously for the past few days is Parasite Eve 2. Parasite Eve 2, complete with a manual. Uh, the second disc is currently in the PS2. That's a picture of Kyle Madigan there. But this is a pretty neat game. A lot of people kind of crap on Parasite Eve 2 because they say Parasite Eve 1 was superior in every way. I agree and disagree. I think Parasite Eve 1's combat system was superior, kind of like more of an RPG. But Parasite Eve 2 basically gives you tank controls and expects you to pull off feats of amazing dexterity with them. Like you can avoid super nimble enemies, kind of pivot as fast as you can as a tank, and then do your lock on and shoot them, and upgrade your weapons with different parts. Buy ammo at vending machines, buy different weapons. The story's really cool. It has that creepy horror vibe. I really enjoyed it. I'm in disc 2 around the tail end of the game now. I think I'm probably going to beat this game today. Probably today. Um, but I really, really like Parasite Eve 2. I'm really enjoying my time. I think it's a short playthrough, maybe 12 hours. I'm almost there, I think. Really beautiful graphics for the PS1 era. And I'm just really glad to have this. I've loved Parasite Eve 1, and I really love Parasite Eve 2. I think it gets a lot of undeserved hate. It's one of the best graphics you'll see on the PS1. It's a phenomenal game by Squaresoft before they were Squeenix. And I am super, super glad to own this. I complete the Parasite Eve collection, besides the third birthday on the PSP, which shan't be talked about because I heard that's extreme trash. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for the games this pickup video. Tell me what you think. Maybe you discovered something new. Maybe you discovered something you like. I don't know, maybe, did you? But I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you once again for joining me. I really enjoy making these for you guys. Tell me if there's anything you saw that you really liked, if you have any questions about anything, and my opinions on any of these games. And thank you guys for watching. Like always, I appreciate the viewership. I hope you have a fantastic holiday season with your loved ones. Thank you so much for watching. This is your buddy, Churrasco Voltorb, signing out.